This is ISNT Center, and we're back.
Oh, man.
Dude, it's been too long. Been away too long. I literally woke up in Atlanta this morning. So, what's brewing?
Not too much. New wheelchair on my end.
Personal end, but
Yeah.
so we all know what's going on in the Pittsburgh sports world right now.
Disaster?
Disaster. The only reason this song is playing is because we're back.
Exactly.
But yeah,
We are the party on Fifth Ave right now.
this is really the party on Fifth Ave because there's a good bit of roasting to do. It was so cold here, that's why Nevin didn't come. Then it got below, 15 degrees. Whenever you listen back on this ISNT Center episode, just to set the setting,
And I was gonna say, it may not have been the coldest we've had since then, but
And I bounced out of here with
fuck
Mrs. ISNT Center. It was actually very well on the schedule. Honeymoon.
definitely was very planned.
Antigua review today.
I'm here for it.
And a great time discussing Pittsburgh sports.
Oh, yeah.
And this is all, as it's always been, no script, just running it off the top of the riff with just the thoughts that have been brewing in our heads. But at this point, they basically text to each other. We were going back and forth.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's over. Burn it all down.
or is it the right path? Let's get on with it, because some organizations, they might be on the right path, but these other ones, let's talk about why the party is dead on them. Because oh boy, dude, let's get with the Steelers first. All right, let's rattle it off. Steelers. Here's our little rundown we're gonna run with here. Steelers, Penguins. I guess we'll throw the Buccos in there because they did make their big signing.
Yeah, there's a little bit of news.
They brought someone back, baby. That's what it's all about. That gets the people hyped up sometimes, or does it?
Gets people going.
Does. And oh boy, anything else? You got some hockey coming up too, so we'll get into that.
I have some a trip coming up.
Let's do it. Let's freaking do it. So, you're a Pittsburgh Steelers, man. This team, for those that don't remember, it was a loss in the playoffs. Since the last time we were here, they were about to go into the postseason, and it was a pretty much an ass whooping that was well anticipated. And everybody's on. It seems a lot more people right now are kind of on the Fire Tomlin train, more than just there were before. And now,
Good.
and now, it's just to the point where everyone's kind of sick of the redundancy of just about everything. The Ravens bring back Chuck Pagano, and then they're like, Chuck Pagano's back in the organization. Hey, look at that. They're still doing things. And everybody kind of does some tweaks. And
What are we doing? What are we done?
well, Art Rooney, he had his big speech
Yeah.
while I was away. I didn't really listen to it all that much. I caught some scripts.
Probably should have listened to that knowing you were out of the country, but the one thing that I heard was that they're okay with their assistant coaches and everything like that. And another thing I heard was it's going to be one or the other, Russ or Justin Fields. Both of them will not be back.
Yes.
They're looking to revamp that QB room. So, and then apparently. They according to one person, they have some serious interest in Jalen Milroe, I think is his last name, right?
Was that the guy that was talking about the Ayuk stuff? I believe you said.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Same guy. So again,
there's
I think my thing to you was so they don't like him at all. Then that's probably the way we should lean if that guy's saying that they like him or love him.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't believe anything at this point. They'll probably do something more redundant, like either replace running back, like Najee Harris, or wide receiver. Like at this point, this team just. Yeah. It's kind of the same. It has been the same program for all these years, though.
Yeah, I saw Dan or somebody posted it was a picture of Dan and Art Rooney, Dan won however many, 6 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowls, and Art has won 0. So,
yeah, like the ownership has changed, and it's just you just there's been no talk of anything that's going to happen, no changing, no, even like I don't even know about the contract. We'll see about whenever they let the contracts expire for and call that a day, and there's your big changes that you're going to see, but it's going to be the same thing until who knows.
I don't know. I mean,
I did see someone else from that station though did say that they did think that that Art is either going to drop out in whenever 2027 comes, when Tomlin's contract comes to an end, that they're both going to just
mutually part ways with the organization.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And he will just Art will they'll find their own respective ways that they come to that conclusion.
Right.
Tomlin, well, it'll be Art just kind of being like, all right, here's the next one, and then okay, here's how we change to the next thing.
Yeah.
And that's how it'll just go down in history. They want the history to be written as they want it to be written.
Yeah, they don't just let it play out. They have it scripted in their head, basically.
Not in the way that it's NFL, like, ooh, we're going to participate in the script and stuff like that, but
they have a certain way that they want things to go, and they don't really want to deviate from that.
I don't know if there's any credible rumor or just if that's just a guess.
I was going to say, it's just at least from my vantage point.
Because they're just in 27, and that's 2 years from now. And now, it's deep. We're already at the end of January here. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
How far along this has all come to a ride here. But, and I just don't know what to. I don't know what to think about that. You still got 25 to worry about.
Yeah, you still got this.
But there's no real way to make the team better, unless if they trade up and get one of these quarterbacks, and I just don't see them doing that. I don't think there's a guy to do that for. There's guys to do that for in 2026 at the draft.
Right.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't think that there's very many now.
But this is what it's kind of getting at, though. Ultimately, is that this is kind of just the only topic that we have about the Steelers.
I mean,
and it's what are we going to do next year? It's probably we're not going to go under 500. We're going to be probably 9-8, 10-7.
Yeah, it's going to be another one of those borderline bubble years, but
we'll keep everybody around, and we'll have fun, and
right. It's kind of where
we'll be a big family, and then then we'll never see each other again after
everything will be okay. Yeah,
a big family that didn't win anything.
Yeah, once a Steeler, always a Steeler, but
And with that being said, in the NFL, you do have once again Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl.
I'm so shocked.
I did watch that game because we did make some friends with some Buffalo people while we were in Antigua, right? And they were some fun folk.
Gotta go that far out of the country to meet some people that live probably 4 hours away. Hell, that's where I'll be this weekend.
I did that.
That's literally where we're going.
Just on accident it happens.
Then
there was also Toronto and Nashville. That was pretty much our main people, but then also a whole bunch of Antiguans and the beautiful island atmosphere.
Right.
Filled with island cats.
Can't really beat that.
There was one that loved us.
Unless they were were there island dogs too? Because dogs. I was gonna say it wouldn't be better, but it would be equal to.
There were mongoose.
Huh. Okay. Never.
Yeah. See,
I just knew. I knew they were a bird or an animal.
No, not a bird.
I meant to say an animal, but I really only knew them as a bike company. I knew that they were something an actual animal.
Yeah, they were a sick bike company. That's what I said.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's kind of funny coming from me because I don't think I ever actually rode one.
I said that I pretty much said it exactly like that when I was down there, except I added they were the one to have.
Yeah. When we were kids, they were the bike that everybody wanted to have. Now
I don't know if it was the bike in terms of dollar value, but you could rip them and you add
it was
stuff to them.
At least on Hilltop, that was the bike that everybody wanted.
The good old mongoose.
Yeah, you weren't cool if you didn't have a mongoose.
But yes. Anyways, aside from the mongoose, which was not in the rundown, but that's how we ended up here. Back to the Bills, though, man. Like, yeah, it was a good time either way in Antigua, but
Right.
which great place. I would recommend it. Yet again, anytime you can go to any of the islands, I'm sure that they're all great. Anybody can say that, but resort life was pretty fun.
Yeah. It sounds like it from what I've heard. So, I mean, can't beat it. Like I said,
They give you an irresponsible amount of alcohol.
well, I mean, something tells me they don't.
It is what is paid for.
Right. I was gonna say something tells me they don't necessarily just give it to you. Probably you do pay for it. I would think. I mean, I think it was all inclusive, unless you're talking like Trailer Park Boys, all inclusive.
5-star service either way.
Right. But
And
yeah.
good, I don't know, tropical sea life and stuff.
Well,
you know,
I mean, listen. I think
and some good mountainy looking near island stuff.
At one point, we were talking.
But anyways, here about the Bills here though. Let's get back to this game here because I want to talk about really this heartbreak, man. Because talk
to me
calls,
about it,
the calls were just so not in the favor of the it was despicable and it was kind of just really funny just watching all these different reactions of this going on in the middle of an island.
Yeah,
which I had to save the bar TVs too.
You did tell me that.
It was very impressive because I don't know how there was no CBS.
I was gonna say, was it on bunny ears?
No, it was on ESPN, but I have no idea what channel numbers I'm working with. I'm like, listen, just grab that remote and start doing it. They're gonna get really mad. There's a lot of people from Buffalo in this in here.
That's awesome. But yeah, I mean,
and it was just an irresponsible amount of and it's just. I know the Chiefs are really good, and that's another reason. They just always do find a way to keep doing this, and that's what it really angers. And we had Brady for all this time in the AFC too, and you thought Burrow might ultimately be one that could get through, but he just can't because the Steelers are too busy going 10-7 to ruin his season and chances of getting in the playoffs. That's really what it boils down to because we just like to ruin Ohio's everything.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, fuck Ohio, right?
Yeah, and it is kind of funny.
And let me take that back. Don't fuck Ohio State.
We'll get to another reason when we get to the hockey in a second here. Ooh. And college football, I guess, for your case. That did happen while we had a show. There's your little moment.
Exactly.
Ultimately, the point of my rant here is, though, I just can't stand, I hate being in the AFC and watching all these teams just not be able to beat these elite quarterbacks. And am my butt hurt? Maybe. But I think with all the calls that continuously did it, and the Brady years were kind of bad. The tuck rule, and he did get a little bit more of the. To be fair, maybe you shouldn't be able to blow out a quarterback's ACL and take him out of the game.
Probably a smart idea to have that roll in.
But even he keeps finding a way to be able to not do that.
Yeah, right.
He puts himself in position to not get his ACL blown out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of got to be on him too, right? I mean,
it's really annoying.
I don't know. It's.
And I still don't know if I even want to bother watching the Super Bowl because I don't want to see either team win again.
Right. I mean
because like you said, fuck Ohio because fuck Philly.
Exactly. Yeah. Fuck Philly.
Even though in the AFC, NFC, listen, you're getting a little too good here, and I don't like that you're gonna have the titles to back up your arrogance soon.
It's 2 Super Bowl appearances in 4 years, I think, for the Eagles, right? And then now 3 in a row for the Chiefs. I mean, come on.
The Eagles do keep making NFC Championship games in these years too.
But I mean,
they're probably one of the more steady in the NFC.
Yeah.
Than because like just the balance of power and how football kind of just shifts. Usually they try to eliminate, like they try to create parity, and there's a good bit, but like you just get guys that can just take over the games. And hey, Mahomes is one of them.
Right.
Props to both of the teams, I guess. But I'm probably not going to watch the game here.
Like,
do you have your ultimate final wrap up of my NFL points here?
It's awesome to see a few players that are that good that they can.
It's a lot cooler when they're on your team.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, and like listen, like anybody that can go, like what? Florida went to back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals, right? I mean, we like Tampa Bay won back-to-back.
Tampa Bay, yeah.
So like, it's very cool because it's.
Tampa Bay had an opportunity for a three-peat,
right?
And lost to Colorado, who we thought was going to have the balance of power.
We're going to have to get into Colorado.
Yeah, because this is how we get casually shifting here.
Like it's awesome to see, but also like, yeah, I'd like to see. Like, it was cool to see the Commanders in the NFC Championship game because
they got their ass whipped.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
rookie quarterback making it that far is another just impressive case. It's like great season on his part.
So we'll start to make the transition now, but it's kind of like compare it to the 08, 09 Penguins, like the early Penguins team, the 07 team that they made it. Sure, 08 was the year we lost to Detroit first. But so, like, look at that team. Sure, it didn't work out. Didn't work out for the Commanders. But look how shit turned out for the last over 18, 19 years for the Penguins. I'm not saying it's going to work out like that for Washington. But, I mean, there is a chance with a rookie quarterback like that especially. So, I mean...
And the Capitals are a team that just continues to. They did a good job at putting themselves in the seat. I'm going to give them right now. We're just shifting fully in the NHL with the Washington, and because they're the top of the division.
I think they're top of the league, aren't they not?
And they're probably one of the more exciting shows in hockey right now with Ovi and the goal chase.
I'm almost
very much on at this point.
First in the league. Let me double check that.
You pull that up, and I'm going to set this setting here. We'll bring it back to the hockey.
They're tied with Winnipeg for first in the league, 73 points.
Mm-hmm. And the Penguins are, hey, they did a good job at avoiding being bad for a lot of years, but man, this team is on a complete disaster with the latest one, just a Sharks loss
and
and
lose to San Jose. That's just you're kind of cooked at that point. So
it's just over.
Oh,
it's over this season. This streak has killed this team
100%.
And we'll start seeing guys go. We've already talked about them leaving, and I can't wait for some transitions.
Listen, the trade deadline's 6 weeks away now. Well, not even, right?
Well,
is it February or March? I can't remember.
You have the Four Nations Cup coming up soon. That's gonna change. That's gonna make everything kind of wonky.
Right.
So
March, I think, is our deadline. Correct.
I don't care about the deadline. You figure that out.
I'm just trying to because I think things are gonna go down earlier for us at least this year.
Yeah. We're dead last,
right.
And we're in the bottom of the Eastern Conference, and this team's just about to be
March 7th is the deadline.
They're so uninteresting to talk about that I can't even find adjectives to want to care because, instead of fuck Ohio, in this case, the Blue Jackets, in the wake of tragedy have become this pretty solid looking young, upcoming hockey club.
Really have taken a step this year.
And the Penguins, I do want to get into the Penguins back again. Penguins, they're playing in Utah tonight. Logan Cooley on the other side is looking pretty impressive.
From North Versailles, North Huntington, something
West Mifflin.
West Mifflin, yeah, that area out there. Played at Arizona State.
Well, we've talked about him.
Yeah, we've talked about him.
If you've been listening to the Yin Center, you probably know who Logan Cooley is along with us. We let you know back when.
We were talking about Columbus real quick. They're tied with Tampa Bay for the second wild card spot. Just to give you a glimpse into how vastly improved they've been this year. And we are 5 points out of the last spot in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's about time too. I'm starting to watch more like Wilkes-Barre Scranton stuff too. Like I'm just kind of seeing what's going on there, just to keep an eye on things at this point. That's more exciting.
Yeah, and I haven't necessarily started yet, but I'm going to start doing deep dive on.
We encouraged the tank last year, and you said Sid Crosby's not a tanker. This is the time to actually tank. You're in a position for a top 5 pick, like. And Sid, hey, you signed for the long haul.
Everybody knows, except for Paul Bissonnette, that you're going to be a Penguin for your entire career. So
yep, and he's fully invested. There's Penguin drama all brewing too throughout. That's been more interesting too.
FSG's looking to sell a minority share now.
Biz is fake, his fake stuff. Like
Biz just needs to. I've tweeted at him. You just need and they fucking opened the show talking about it. Like this week's Spit and Chicklets episode, and I was like, all right, I'm done. I tried to give you guys like some leeway, but you're going to open the show talking about how they should do it. Fuck out of here. I'm done.
Well, you still listen to the show.
Not very often, honestly. Like I more or less just listen to the interviews occasionally. Like they had Marty Necas on it, and I thought it was like right after the trade. Turns out it was from like 6 months ago. So
yeah, because in terms of their credibility, like I know they're trying to be. They do have some sources and like some valuable ones, but like
they do this whole rumor boys thing where they just make shit up to try to see if something sticks, and it's like Sidney Crosby's never going to get traded. It doesn't matter if Nathan MacKinnon wants him to play with him in Colorado; it's not going to happen.
And if he does do it again, then we're just going to start saying MacKinnon to Pittsburgh.
Listen,
because MacKinnon, they lost Mikko Rantanen.
Yeah.
They lost Mikko Rantanen.
Marty Necas is a good player, but I feel like Nate Dogg, listening to that whole post-trade interviews with Jared Bednar, the head coach of the Avalanche, and Nathan MacKinnon, and Mikko Rantanen, obviously, who was there, but none of them expected it. And it sounds like it was basically expected, or it was over expected contract issues because his contract expires at the end of this year, and they just didn't want to pay him as much or more than Nathan MacKinnon. And it's like, well, if Nathan MacKinnon's cool with it, who the fuck else cares? Now I get it. They have Cale Makar's contract coming up soon too, and you want to have money for him because you don't want to lose him.
Yeah, you want to have the defenseman more than the winger.
Yeah,
in terms of the long-term picture of things,
and especially because he's younger.
And Marty Nate, and in that return, there was a 3-way trade. I think Colorado did pretty good for themselves in getting Marty Necas, and
they
did pretty good. They got another year of control on a guy. They took a true business approach with that, and that's the real business of the game of hockey.
And it seems like they wanted to get faster and be harder to play against. Rantanen's bigger, but it seems like Necas, I've seen statistically, is faster overall. So Colorado got more speed. Now it's kind of looking at the back-to-back years that we won. Sure, speed is what we had that dominated everybody. We didn't necessarily have the top line players like a Mikko Rantanen playing with Sid. You know what I mean? We had Connor Sheary playing with Sid. But he had the speed and the enough skill. So it's okay, I can kind of see what you're trying to do, but I don't know. Somebody of Mikko Rantanen's caliber.
Hey, you can't let him loot. You can't let him walk away for nothing. No.
Exactly, and it's like Jake.
It's exactly it's Jake times 10
exponentially. Yeah, Mikko Rantanen's probably one of the top 3, maybe top.
I'd say top 3 wingers in the league.
I was going to say overall players, top 10, top 5. But yeah, definitely one of the top 3 wingers in the league because,
well, at least in Colorado. That'll be the fun part to see it, and that's what Colorado's kind of betting on.
I saw it.
And this will be... And I just want to say one more thing, too. I do like how, I find it funny how, people, who are reacting to these trades, because I'm curious how they are reacting whenever I see this stuff, and if I have a little bit of Wi-Fi for a second, I'm gonna
check it out,
take a look at what's going on. It's a big trade.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And so many people are shocked that the hockey guys are are just they're I don't know, just like how they're just so upset about these trades and.
Like this trade,
you expect it to yeah, of course. Like he's known the guy. He's been working hand in hand with the guy for
it's like one of his best friends.
Like 60 hours, his entire life for the last 5-6 years, and
especially
growing
whenever
up.
They're on the road. They're together like all of the time. Yeah. Like if you're on a road trip, you are literally with your team. 20 hours a day, and then if you're roommates, you're with them basically 24 hours every day. So it's like, okay, well, I mean,
a lot of intimate, a lot of close time,
a
together,
lot of just one time, like hell, like talking about my team, we're going away this weekend. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hang out in the locker room before games. We're gonna, go play, come back, hang out together until everybody's ready to go to sleep, wake up the next morning, go to the rink, see each other at the rink. Okay. And then it's like you said, I mean, yeah, you're with them all the time. And we're not paid athletes either. So, but it's like, you love being around them. Like that's what part of the reason everybody likes going to the rink is just to see your boys. Like you develop those relationships, and we see each other once a week. Those guys literally see each other every single day.
Oh, it's been too long. That's why I've finally had a moment and just made it happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a second after this just mid-trip day, finding some time during it.
Come in, find some time just to hang out. Yeah, I mean it's awesome. I can absolutely understand why McKenna would be pissed off at that whole situation, and I get it. That's part of the game. It's part of being a professional athlete. That can happen to anybody, sure. But it doesn't fucking it. Why are you upset at the dude that's pissed off that he just? I mean, not lost one of his best teammates or best friends, but he's not gonna see them every single day. He's not gonna see them more than maybe twice a year now.
Well, yeah, they expect. Well, you kind of shifted. You kind of took control of my conversation there, but you're very passionate about that, and you're about to literally go do that. But yeah, well, duh, and they're gonna not really care because someone new's coming into work and is gonna try and take the role that guy filled, and I still think Marty Natchez is going to do very, very well in that role. Did very well in Carolina. It'll be interesting to see how Carolina's definitely doing a desperation heave here because there was no guarantee that he's re-signing there either.
Exactly.
And to get back to the whole point of the deal here, the whole reason they could make that money trade, the money end of it happen, is because Chicago just ate up 50% of the cap. Oh, willy-nilly.
And traded Taylor Hall.
And only got a third round pick. They have no idea.
Kyle Davidson, what the fuck? Isn't that what his name is? I don't remember.
They have no idea how much that cap space, it's only a little bit, sure, but
And it's only for the rest of this year, I guess, but
they kind of just bullied him, and the reports I was seeing were wild. It seems like the Carolina GM kind of almost dummied him.
Yeah, so I saw.
Was it Eric Tulsky? Was that who the GM is? Because I remember wanting him, was being intrigued by him for the Penguins too.
Yeah, because he's a whole he's got a degree on sports analytics or something like that, and all this fun stuff. And it was I don't necessarily care for somebody that's big into all that analytical stuff. But obviously, I mean, it's working in Carolina's favor at the moment. I mean.
And to wrap up kind of my hockey end of this discussion here is just, this team, besides the Penguins, where were we at?
We were talking about the Rantanen trade still.
Rantanen.
But you were talking about the GM of Carolina.
Yeah, these guys just completely, I think Dubas is going to, ramp up some things. He's going to ramp up some things in terms of he's got some trade. He's gonna get some more pieces, and then there's gonna be deals like this that can be worked out. You could see these kind of working behind the scenes in the Penguins too. There's gonna be some big things behind the picture.
So,
Chicago got dummied, and I think John Davidson's about to lose his job on this.
I think it's Kyle Davidson.
Yeah,
it's a younger guy. I know it's not John. I think he's still in Columbus or something. But one thing before we switch off of hockey, I am seeing more and more of JT Miller being linked to Pittsburgh.
like actual rational sources?
Like 100% legitimate sources. I can try to find them. I'll find them for you after the show. But I kind of like it.
You know, I did see one thing, but like, dude, I don't think we can do that. Like, we can't, right? Like,
I mean, I don't. If we're in tank mode, is it smart to go out and bring in a 30, 40 goal scorer? Oh, wait,
unless if they're like moving like Erik Karlsson as part of the deal,
and
like
it could be. I would think if it's Vancouver, it's probably more likely to be Pettersson because that's GMJR and Patrick Allvin and
for the expiring to do that too. Like, oh boy, like I don't know. Yeah, Jimmy Rutherford's been talking, and yeah, it's wow. Yeah, dude. Wow.
yeah.
You actually just blew my mind right there. I'm glad you brought that one up. I was not ready to shift courses today. Whoa. Like, is this actually happening now? Like,
I don't see anything right now.
No, I don't see any breaking news now.
No.
Okay. No, don't scare me like that. Okay. How about the Buccos bringing back Adam Frazier, dude? Like,
he's gonna take us to the World Series, man. It's gonna happen now. You know,
with Paul
we can't go out and sign the what was he, like a Japanese pitcher or something like that the Dodgers just signed again. It was some like 23-year-old Japanese like ace from.
Oh, there was never a shot on that.
And yeah, I know, but I'm like, okay, fucking the Yankees, or I'm sorry, the Dodgers already have Yu Darvish, right? They already have who's the guy that his Shohei
Ohtani,
his trainer stole money from his interpreter. They already have a ace pitching staff that they don't like, and then they go out and they spend however much money on this kid, and we probably aren't even going to sign Paul Skeens because he said he hasn't had contract talks with the Pirates. Also, you know how they have Pirate Fest every offseason?
Oh, the Pirate Fest was a disaster this year.
They spelled Andrew McCutcheon's name wrong.
They did
on
do
the
that.
little fucking nameplate. Bro, he's been...
You know, honestly, I almost wonder at this point if they're unironically just leaning into being an embarrassment.
I think they are. Like, what's the... Like Bad News Bears? I don't even know.
The actual Cleveland Indians from the Major League movie.
Like, I was trying to think. I was thinking like Moneyball, but it's not even like Moneyball. They wanted to make a good team with the little amount of money that they had.
Yeah, they actually tried.
They actually tried to make. They did make a good team,
and they actually like listened to like I think they almost might have listened to us whenever like we keep saying like to bring back someone stupid. They actually brought back Adam Frazier, which was shocking because he hit 202 last year with Kansas City, and I mean he did do really good for us just a few years back, but like he's completely fallen off the face of the earth, and he is 33 years old, which is just a year older than myself. So maybe I should not be too judgmental on that, but
but especially as a professional athlete, that's old, man.
Well, these baseball players like. Unless if they're like the elitist of the elite, like they stick around. But I'm just shocked they actually got him to like a major league contract because it looked like he was struggling to stick to like a bad Royals team last year. And like that's just what they do. They just get like they actually do bring back the guys that they did like used to have.
Like I said, I think the next one they're gonna do is S-Rod. Bring back Sean Rodriguez, man.
I think Gregory Polanco's still playing in the Mexican League.
I mean, hey, what about Starling Marte? It could be Marte Parte.
Marte Parte. Man, I actually was thinking about him last night too. I was like, you know what? Like, he is still playing, and I think he's like a little bit older too. But he was always like a good 5-star. He was a good 5-tool player, like kind of coming out. Like,
yeah, he was.
Like everybody kind of knew he was going to be like a guy that would stick around. Yeah, but the point is, he was a guy that was going to stick around for a good bit, and just didn't happen. So that's our That's our 5 minutes of bucko talk there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
I mean, hey, we know that they know that we know that they're going to be bad.
It's currently January 29th, and it's just about 2 o'clock here. So we are
literally at the end of January.
Yeah,
already.
and
I feel like the new year was 2 weeks ago.
And I'm not used to being up before 5 o'clock in the morning. So, hey, I do a podcast. What do you guys expect? And I usually drop this stuff later at night and in the morning. So, for me to be even kind of operating still, and after a flight too, that was a short one. And I watched The Emperor's New Groove
from
during
Atlanta's only an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 40. Well, probably about an hour and a half. Jet stream. Catch the jet stream coming up.
Possibly, yeah. It was under an hour and a half from Atlanta.
Yeah, from Charlotte, it's about an hour and a half.
Yeah, we did catch kind of a jet stream. I don't know. It was
on the way back. Yeah, on the way back, you catch the jet stream. I don't know. It's I don't personally know. It's all I've
and like everything was kind of wacky with the winds and making it like -20 degrees. So I have no idea. Like apparently we just got up there and we're cruising along at 30,000 feet for a bit. Not particularly. Little tiny stretches.
Yeah. So
we had a huge aircraft that was mostly empty.
Ooh, okay.
It was pretty nice because then, like, at that point, I was like, well, there's plenty of space to, like, stand up and, like, move back and, like chill out.
Crop dust some people, walk around.
I mean, I didn't want to get, I was too busy watching The Emperor's New Groove, so I didn't really get up. But, like, whenever the plane came to an end, I kind of got up and, like, moved back like a row because there was nobody behind me.
Yeah. When you're deplaning, you can actually, like, maneuver and take your time and, like, don't have to rush.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's nice. It's also nice when you have to, wait for an aisle chair, so you don't have to really do anything unless you're in the aisle. You got to move for people.
There was a guy next to me last night with a broken leg, and, props to him for coming back from Antigua. No, he just forced himself. He took himself down the aisle. He just kind of like lifted his leg up. And it was just the bottom part. Yeah.
Yeah. I've pushed myself back aisles.
I almost wonder if he broke his leg down there doing something or hurt it. I don't know if it was broken. It was the whole thing was wrapped up in a cast, so he did something to it.
Probably. Yeah.
But anyways,
regardless, it's not fun.
No, it is. It's not very fun at all. This whole the plane. It's still kicking my ass. It's like now I'm like kind of like crashing down after because let's see, I would have got back now. I didn't get home I got home to Greensburg at like 12 something. So. And our flight landed at like,
11.
Woke up at 4. Yeah, because we woke up and it was a Mercedes-Benz. We somehow, some way, we ended up, you can ask me in person how, we ended up at a hotel that was next to the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta as we stayed overnight. I don't know how the travel agent and acts of God pull that off. But
you have to fly to Vegas now and see if you can stay by the Sphere.
Ooh. But anyways, I did that, and just the Uber drivers there, man, I thought the first guy was like, it was an acceptable Uber driver. Like I was like, if he had a piece of his right bumper taken out and didn't even get it replaced, he knows what he's doing in Atlanta, and he's just trying to get around. Like he knows what he's getting into, and I was like, I trust this guy, and he did. He navigated it well in Georgia. We're going like 70 or so. Like, It was like a little fast, but like, above the speed limit. But like in Georgia, 7-lane highway.
Yeah. Did you see any?
And he knew where he was going.
Did you see
this morning, my Uber driver, he was in an electric car and he was going about 30 miles an hour in this fucking thing.
Oh, it's perfect. That's exactly what you want.
30 miles an hour.
Right?
And I thought we were going to get wrecked from behind at any given point, and he had no idea where he was going.
That's wonderful. That's very helpful. As an Uber driver, I think that's what I want in my Uber driver is for them to know where I'm going.
I think that might have been like man, Georgia's a wild place, dude. That's all I gotta say. Like, I cannot believe it feels like I had a bad dream because like we got there, and it was like, we managed to get like room service at this hotel. Like we stayed at the freaking hotel next to the Superdome. Well, not the
Mercedes-Benz.
It doesn't help that the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans and in Atlanta are like both Mercedes-Benz blank domes. So forgive me if I'm mixing the names up here.
I definitely didn't know that one.
Yeah, but that again, it's like a wild shape, and like I couldn't believe it. There's the Falcon Stadium, and I got about it took like basically like 2 naps. It felt like, and then a plane ride with the Emperor's New Groove. Great film. It holds up so good if you have not seen it.
It's been a long time. I don't really remember the last
Patrick Warburton is in it with and it's David Spade is the main character, along with John Goodman, and then some old woman, like an old woman, and then Kronk is Patrick Warburton from he's Putty from Seinfeld. Yeah, and dude, I'm just laughing out loud on the plane during this stuff.
You know what else is a good movie? Me. You know what else is a good movie that we've recently discovered? I believe it's called Dunstan Checks In with George Costanza as a dad.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. It's on Movie Hub if you have like a Samsung TV, I think it is.
It is.
Yeah. It just randomly comes on.
And I think, and honestly, dude, if you think about it real hard, that's a kid that, and I think a lot of people might have had that on VHS in the 90s and don't even remember that they had that movie.
You were talking to me about it.
Because we absolutely had it.
Yeah,
and my wife was like, my wife was like, I didn't have that. And then the movie kept happening, and she's like, wait a minute, we did have this.
Yeah, I put it on. I saw it, or I had my TV on, and it just magically came on that Samsung Movie Hub or whatever. And it was after you had talked to me about it. And I go, holy shit, I do vaguely remember having this movie and seeing it. Because he has that the kid has the monkey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I do remember this. It's so dumb. George Costanza's a dad.
I love it. It was a great film.
It really was.
And some of these movies they sneak in some good stuff, good one-liners that really shouldn't be snuck into PG movies, and I'm really glad that they pulled that one off.
Oh yeah, 100%. And
it's wonderful because I feel like anything nowadays doesn't get made because anything that's put in a movie like that is considered too offensive.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get published in Hollywood because it's not a Marvel sequel of another type. So I think that's about where I want to wrap this up for this, man. Because
that was a great way to end talking about Dunstan Checks In.
Yeah, bro.
Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's very good.
Yeah, because Dunstan Checks In, that one, it holds up. And Emperor's New Groove holds up. And, man, I'm about to crash out. And just like all of these Pittsburgh sports teams are doing to our freaking souls right now. So, that being said, we love you guys. Thank you for listening still. Sorry we've been away for so long. It's been way too cold to make it fuck up.
The holidays, the weather, a honeymoon. I'm not smart enough to run this board on my own. It's been 2 years since I learned how to run the board, so
there's been no need to put you in charge of it still.
So everything that I learned when we first did it is just kind of gone now. So if I had to come up here by myself, I'd be like,
would you consider yourself a better podcaster now than you were in 2023?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I think so. I've had time to actually learn, so yeah.
All right. Let's tank pens.
I like it. Michael Misa is the kid that we're gonna hope they draft.
You want Misa guy? I was thinking I wanted Misa. His name is Michael Misa, but
Jesse Marshall, I think, is who I follow, and he's been talking a big game about this Michael Misa kid.
I do want to throw in that one more thing too.
Yeah, DJ.
I saw, guy. I don't want to say his name, but he just randomly called out a guy. He called out Jesse Marshall for absolutely nothing, and hey, that's very much what he does.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does anyway.
Jesse Marshall, we appreciate you. Fuck that other guy.
So, all right. Love you guys. We'll see you all
next.
Whoa, who knows, man? Who knows?
We'll hope
make
for
it
next
sooner
week.
rather than later. So
We'll hope for sometime next week.
let's go, Tank.